Forgiveness at a higher scale will be what will lead us to our freedom in every aspect. So the Bible's right about this part. I found this in the Bible. Yes, in every aspect. The reason being that with forgiveness, not only are we releasing those soul contracts where we come to forgiveness, right? And we forgive and we leave these people with love and light. And we can do this energetically. We don't have to, go in person and say, I'm sorry, or, wait for an apology or anything like that. We can energetically forgive these people. We can go ahead and get into a meditative state, bring the person into, your third eye, picture them being in front of you, and forgive them. Say, with it didn't work out. We tried. I love you. Hug. Bye. I wish you well. Right. And we could also write them a letter. I remember that at the beginning of my journey, I was doing a lot of cord cutting with my karmic family, specifically with my karmic mother. I had to do a lot of journaling and I had to do a lot of breaking soul contracts because it was revealed to me at the beginning, and at this time I knew nothing about spirituality when it came to Earth is a school and we come here to learn and experience certain things, and these people who we grow up with and the families that we are born into, they're truly not your family. I mean, they are your blood family, but your family is your soul family. Again, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So you incarnate into these bloodlines to gain experiences, right? And once you fulfill your end of the contract, you're free to move on. Now the trick here is that we must leave these people with love and light. We cannot harbor resentment or hate no matter what they did. And so for me, it's it's a special case because of all the things that were done to me, that were ritualized. There was a purpose of why I incarnated into this bloodline. It was specifically for me to break those generational curses and free them from the diabolicalness that they were practicing. And so I was used as a way of them atoning with the Most High God, but they never came to the realization of, atonement. They were trying to sacrifice me. And so as I was being awakened, I was being guided to forgive, and then things were being revealed to me and forgive, and things would be revealed to me and forgive. And at the beginning, I had to believe because my life was in a place of life of death. Like if I were to have stayed there, I wouldn't be here today. I was truly saved by God. It was a God thing. Like I was being poisoned, I was being set up. My life was like a movie. It was like people were hired to come into my life. People were hired to mess with my children. People were hired to be my lovers. People were hired to be my friends. People were hired to stalk me and all types of things, right? And so forgiving them with love and light when you know that they're diabolical, right? And it took me anchoring my perception into, hey, this is what you signed up for. This is your contract. You said that you would do this for God. Remember? You're chosen type of scenario. You came here with a mission. There's something you need to do, and part of you being able to do that means you have to heal from all of this. Release these people with love and light, because if not, you are going to repeat this cycle. It's a cycle. Anything that you don't heal from, you repeat. And then I began to put two and two together, and I realized that I was in certain cycles, and that there were certain people that had the same energy as, like, let's say my karmic mother. It was the same energy because it was the same entity jumping aboard different vessels. And I didn't realize that until I started myself, my spiritual journey. And then I started to get my spiritual glasses on and seeing things for what they were, right? So forgiveness, we don't have to go and, knock at people's house and say, hey, I'm sorry, or, expect an apology from them. Release them. Write a letter. Do a meditative state. Call on your angels, your ancestors, and have them help you release these people. And sometimes you have to do a lot of cord cutting depending on who these people are to you and how much you care about them. Because the reality of the matter is that we're going to be hurt. And with that hurt and that pain, we're still going to have to heal. Because it's a choice to forgive. We choose to forgive because in order for us to manifest the reality that we want, our hearts needs to be as light as a feather. And that was the one thing that I kept being reminded of. First of all, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So as we're ascending to a higher level of consciousness, and when our mission is complete here, right? In order for us to go back to our family, our true family, our soul tribe, we cannot go harboring any types of resentment because we might infect other realms. And for me, Earth is ghetto. That's all I'm going to say. Earth is ghetto. And so we're going to heal. Especially because I'm going back home. We're going to heal. And so I started to do healing. And for me, it was a lot easier than I thought because I had gotten the experience when I was in NA in 2020. I did a lot of healing work. So I did a lot of journaling because of the step work. And I did a lot of meditation at that time. So those were the things that were being told to me. Like, you need to journal it out. Whatever works for you, journal it out. Journal it out. Write a letter to them. Break the soul contracts. And these things I had already done before. It's just that the perception I had today, the level of consciousness that I had at that time back in 2020 was not the same level of consciousness that I had this time around. So it was much easier for me to do it. It was like, okay, I know how to do this, right? Because I had been trained back then without realizing that I was being trained for this specific moment. And so I'm grateful for that. And I'm thankful for those people who helped me during that time. And it really helped me in this process, because had I not had that training before, it would have been nearly impossible for me to be where I'm at today and overcome the things that I overcame. And so that's why I'm so grateful for that I was an addict. I'm so grateful that I went through addictions. I'm so grateful because it taught me so much about being able to understand spiritual warfare, especially because I experienced it and I saw other people experienced it. I went off track. So forgiveness frees us from being attached to other energies, because we're all able to be connected energetically. That's what people don't teach us. As long as we're harboring resentment, unforgiveness, hatred, pain, those cords can be energetic. Those cords can be energetically attached. And so we are susceptible for our energy to be harvested, our free will to be manipulated, our energy to be siphoned. And when we're free of that, when we're not harboring anything inside of us, when that no longer resonates, that means that we're vibrating at a frequency where these entities can no longer exist and they cannot attach. So they have to disappear and be gone.